Hi. He's Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra is, well, Frank Sinatra.
Paul Revere Williams once said, quote, "Frank Sinatra wanted a bedroom. Press a button and the doors open to the patio. Press another button and the bed rolls out into the patio." End quote. And Sinatra's satisfaction with the Paul Williams designed house was frequently mentioned in the memoirs of his close friends. Manifesting creations from St. Jude Children's Hospital to the original Saks Fifth Avenue to the tragically significant Pearl Harbor Memorial, he crafted billions worth of hotels, churches, military and public housing developments across LA, DC, and the world. This is the story of Paul Revere Williams, God's architect. Paul Revere Williams, the renowned African-American architect, was the mastermind behind the design of the original St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. He designed the hospital as a star-shaped building with a central hub and 5 wings that symbolize the Star of St. Jude. He donated his services to his friend and actor, Danny Thomas, the founder of the nonprofit hospital, who wanted to create a place of hope for children with cancer and other diseases. The hospital, which costs $1.7 million per day in operation, serves thousands of patients and conducts groundbreaking research that improves the survival rate of childhood cancer. Williams was proud of his design, which was one of his most satisfying projects in his highly acclaimed career. The hospital was also the first fully integrated children's hospital in the South, breaking racial barriers and providing equal care for all. Founder Danny Thomas, a Maronite Catholic, was facing a struggle point in his career. And with a child on the way, he leaned into his faith and promised St. Jude Thaddeus that if the saint interceded for his success, he would build him a shrine. Years later, Thomas became a successful comedian and built St. Jude Children's Research Hospital as a shrine to St. Jude Thaddeus to honor his promise. But there's an even deeper significance to Paul Williams' construction of the Children's Hospital. He was born in Los Angeles in 1894 to a family of middle-class Memphis residents who moved there to start a fruit business. Sadly, he lost both of his parents to tuberculosis and was orphaned by the time he was 4 years old. Yet, he was adopted by a foster family, an act of grace and mercy to a child. This act of kindness gave him the foundation to then become a legend and innovator for the rest of society, which was his returning of the favor to the world. He was the only African-American student in his elementary school, but he did not let that stop him from pursuing his education in art and design. He studied at various institutions and worked as a landscape architect before earning his degree in architectural engineering from the University of Southern California in 1919. He won an architectural competition at 25 and opened his own office in 1922. He became famous for his skillful drawings and his influence on the cultural landscape of Los Angeles. He faced racial discrimination, but overcame it to become the most significant African-American architect of the 20th century. He was the first African-American member of the American Institute of Architects, AIA, in 1923. Here are the remaining of the top 10 building projects by Paul R. Williams. Saks Fifth Avenue. Paul R. Williams, a renowned African-American architect, played a significant role in the design of the original Saks Fifth Avenue at 9600 Wilshire in Beverly Hills. The project, which began in the 1930s, was a collaboration with the architectural firm John Parkinson and Donald B. Parkinson, architects. Williams was credited as architect for the interiors, and his design was unique in that it gave off the effect of a series of small, distinguished, individual shops. This was a departure from the overt commercial atmosphere typically found in stores, and was a forerunner of the in-store boutique designs that became popular in the 1980s and 1990s. The Beverly Hills store was so successful that it was immediately expanded to 73,912 square feet and would eventually employ over 500 people. Williams designed both the exteriors and interiors of the expanded Beverly Hills store in 1940 and 1948. New departments were added in these expansions, including debutante dresses, furs, corsets, and a gift department. Williams's forward-thinking design for Saks made Beverly Hills one of the style centers of the world. The Schuhwager, or Reagan House. He designed the house in the Monterey colonial style, which has a two-story structure. He also gave the house a Georgian traditional interior, which has a classic and elegant look. The house was built on a large lot in Beverly Hills and has a spacious area. The house has been home to some famous people, such as Ronald Reagan, Jane Wyman, and Joan Crawford. Williams' client list went all the way to the top. Yet the house shows Williams' unique architectural style and his skill in designing structures that fit their surroundings. Los Angeles International Airport. In the 1960s, Williams and his associates had a vision of a futuristic airport with a central hub and 5 wings that could accommodate the jet age. They also designed the theme building, a white structure that became a symbol of Los Angeles. The airport project was a huge undertaking that cost $50 million and took over a year to complete. It transformed LAX from a small airport in a beanfield to a global gateway that was compared to Disneyland. Williams' design was a remarkable achievement that showcased his talent and innovation. And if you think this is the most expensive thing Williams has ever been a part of, then you're wrong. He's helped build military bases and designed countless multi-million-dollar homes, some that have sold for over $60 million. Beverly Hills Hotel, a hotel that was remodeled in the 1940s. Paul was responsible for much of the hotel's look, including its script logo, color scheme, and several parts of the building. He also redesigned the Polo Lounge and Fountain Coffee Room. The project was one of many that he did for the hotel, where he updated much of the Mission-style complex. His work still stands tall above the hotel, which is one of the most iconic hotels in Los Angeles. Despite facing racial discrimination, he approached his work with class and professionalism. Langston Terrace, a public housing project designed by Paul R. Williams and Hilliard Robinson in the 1930s. They designed the project as a legal complex with 2 separate units for municipal and superior courts, following an architectural master plan for the LA Civic Center and Mall. They built the project with the help of the Public Works Administration, PWA, which saw it as a successful demonstration of low-rent housing. They used the international style for the project, which was innovative and aesthetically sensitive. They also wanted to create a sense of community and pride for the residents, so they included a landscaped campus, shared common areas, and a playground with concrete animals. They used precast concrete components to save money and make the housing units easy to reproduce. The project was one of the first federally funded public housing projects in the United States and became a prototype for mid-20th century America. Hotel Nutibara, a hotel designed in Medellin, Colombia, 1945. He designed the hotel as part of the city's new design direction and as the first large-scale hotel in the city. He gave the hotel a cityfied and countryfied look, with a skyscraper tower for the rooms and a patio, swimming pool, and gardens for the public rooms. He faced many engineering and logistical challenges while building the hotel in a foreign country. He followed the new South American modern-style architecture that the city planners wanted. The hotel was luxurious and had a restaurant called La Orquídea. It was also a staying place for many Latin American celebrities throughout the decades and still remains to this day. First A.M.E. Church, designed by Paul Williams, a lifetime member of the church. He designed the church in 1968 after the original church was destroyed. He gave the church a zigzag porch and a roofline that added some flair to the simple stucco exterior. He also painted decorative murals on the west facade. The church was opened with a procession of famous actors who were members of the congregation. The church is the oldest African-American congregation in Los Angeles, and was the place where Williams had his funeral. La Concha Motel, a hotel designed by Paul R. Williams in 1961. He designed the hotel in the Googie style, which is a futuristic and space-age style. He gave the hotel a flat disc-shaped area that was suspended by 2 arches. He did this project as one of many in Las Vegas, a city that was growing fast at that time. The hotel is one of the most important works of mid-century modernism in Las Vegas. It has a unique design and style that stands out in the city. The Frank Sinatra home. In the 1950s, Frank Sinatra commissioned architect Paul R. Williams to design a house that was as unique as his personality. The result was a stunning Japanese modern-style home, complete with Asian-inspired furniture, dividers, and a painted screen. The house was not just aesthetically pleasing, but also boasted state-of-the-art technology for its time. It had a hi-fi system, a bed that could roll out to the patio, and ceiling-mounted loudspeakers. Sinatra's house was more than just a dwelling. It was an extension of his public persona. He was both a hip bachelor and a family man, and he proudly displayed photographs of his children, his Oscars, and even a signed photo of FDR during a tour of his home on the popular TV show, Person to Person. However, in 2006, this architectural marvel was demolished and replaced by a Mediterranean-style mansion. Today, the only remnants of Sinatra's iconic home are some photographs and online videos. The house was Sinatra's main residence from the 50s through the 80s, and he upgraded it many times. Eventually, the now demolished complex had a helipad, a pool, 2 guest houses, and an expanded dining room with a restaurant-sized kitchen. It was nicknamed The House I Live In, named after one of Sinatra's Oscar-winning films. Paul Williams has too many projects and famous clients to put all into one video. His accomplishments are outstanding. Yet he is an unsung black name. Some of his other works include the oldest black YMCA in LA, the Guardian Angel Cathedral, the Founders Church of Science Building, the Pearl Harbor Memorial, Howard University campus, the iconic Victor Rossetti House, and a lot of other famous people that I don't really know, and sadly no one really remembers. But shout out to all the fallen stars of the past. Word. Paul Williams' most beautiful designs were often his churches, due to more artistic freedom and less zoning and commercial restrictions. In addition to his churches, it seems the St. Jude Children's Hospital alone should make Paul Revere Williams worthy of the title of God's architect. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you learned something, click like or subscribe to stay updated with more unsung heroes. Peace out, family.